Yes, them have the heart of a pagan. The children have the heart of a lion, I know. Evil a move with Satan. Righteous trod in the countenance of the Almighty One. Them have the heart of demons. The children have the heart of a lion, I know. Evil a move with Satan. Righteous walk in the countenance of the Almighty One. Poor people see hostility rising daily.
Shalom, Israel. You are into UPK in South Florida. You're in tune. Today's topic is Gad, one of the 10 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. They're no longer lost. They have never been lost. They've been here all the while. Where did they go? To the Americas, also known in the Apocrypha as Arsareth. Okay, let's get some facts before we get started today. Today I'm going to hold up a picture and show you something. This picture right here we're showing you is from Back Creek, Tennessee. It was discovered in the Cherokee Nation in a burial ground. And who discovered it? Esau, so-called white man. What's his name? His name was Cyrus Thomas. He discovered this stone here. This stone here I'm showing you is an ancient Hebrew writing. You see some that is Assyrian, some that is ancient. He discovered this in 1889 in a Cherokee Nation burial ground. Okay, this has been in the Smithsonian ever since. Okay, but let's get more information. All right, in 1722, the 10 tribes left the Assyrian captivity, and in the Apocrypha, as we have here, tells you more evidence about what happened, and we're going to read it in 2nd Ezra chapter 13 verse 40. And while we're doing that, I want to show you an ancient Hebrew chart, where in this chart you have 4 different types of ancient Hebrew writing. It says early, when you read it here, middle, late, okay, it's during the different times, the styles were changing. And as the styles change, yet the letters and the sound stay the same. Okay? And those are some of the letters that you'll see in this same chart. Alright? And also, as you see, let me zoom back in. I want to show you something. Right here, the Ta, the Ma, and the Tha right here. That Tha looks like a cross, right? Doesn't it look like a cross?
Got that glare on it.
But it's not. It's not a cross. It's a Tha. That's an ancient Hebrew alphabet. Okay? And the Da also, as you see right here in the middle, that pyramid shape. I'm going to show you this in Gad's archaeology. All through the American Native Indian, who's one of the 10 tribes of Israel known as Gad. Let me show you these same letters on his book. I want to show you in this book here. Here on this book, right on the very hat, you would think that that's for Christianity, but it's not.
That glare off the lights.
That glare.
Yeah.
Okay.
There, that's good.
Those are the Tha alphabet. Gad was holding on to what they had left. And here, those pyramids are the dots. You see them in different points of their garments. Those are ancient Hebrew alphabet. Okay? And why did this happen? Let's go in the Bible before we talk about the Assyrian captivity. Let's go to Jeremiah 17 and 4. I like to show you why Gad was struggling and couldn't remember or figure out who he was as time went on. But there was much evidence. Let's read in Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4, and find out more about why Gad left and had the evidence, but the so-called white man would not bring it out or show you. But not until the Most High raised men up in this truth that we could bring this out and show you. Read.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
And
that
who
I
is he
gave
talking to? The Most High is talking to Jeremiah, a black Hebrew Israelite. And he told him, even thou, thyself, would discontinue from what?
from thine heritage.
From
that I
thine
gave
heritage that the Most High gave us. And what's that? Laws, statutes, and commandments. We discontinue from them, and also we began to discontinue from our language and our alphabet and some things of our culture and tradition. But let's find out in Revelations chapter 12, verse 16. Okay? In Revelations chapter 12, verse 13, explains it even more. But before we go there, I'm going to go to the Apocrypha to stay right on the topic of when Gad left the Assyrian captivity. Can you read in the Apocrypha real quick? In 2nd Ezra 13 and 40.
Second Ezra chapter 13, verse 40.
Let's read that and see what the Most High has brought to our attention.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king.
That's who the king was when Israel went under the captivity of the Assyrians. The 10 tribes were called the children of Israel. The other 3 are 2.5, but still 3 no matter which way you count it. That's Judah, Benjamin, Levi was called children of Judah. The southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. That's after the death of Solomon. Alright? They went into the Assyrian captivity. Okay? Let's read.
Whom Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
And he brought them to another land, King Salmar. Okay, the king of Assyria brought the children of Israel over into his land. Read.
But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, and go forth into a further country.
And after the captivity, they counseled and said what they were going to leave this place and go an even further place away, so they didn't ever want to be there again. Read.
Where never mankind dwelt.
Where no mankind had dwelt. And where was that land? That's known as the New World. Christopher Columbus and his discovery, talking about the Americas. Alright, that's what it was called after Columbus. But it was called another name. Let's continue and find out what that is.
That they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
See, there they said they're going to follow the Most High there. And they didn't keep them in their own land. And they didn't keep them when they got to the new land either. But a short time, if that. Read.
And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
So they went down through the Euphrates River. Read.
For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over.
So they followed signs from the Most High. Meaning they was reading the stars like we did as slaves in all the captives. We had those abilities to follow these stars, to go follow which way to go, narrating from the sky to get from off the ocean from one place to the other. Read.
For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of 1.5 years.
And it took them 1.5 years to travel from Assyria through the Euphrates and through the other lands to get where they were going. Read.
And the same region is called Arsareth.
And that's the name, the ancient name of America is Arsareth. Okay, this is where Gad ended up. And those little islands right there, Cuba, Haiti, Bahamas, Hispaniola, which is known as Puerto Rico, Florida, Bahamas, all these different places, Santo Domingo, Central and South America, okay, North America, that's Arsareth, where no man had dwelt. Okay, it took them 1.5 years traveling time to get there. And how did they get there? Through signs of the Most High. What was that? The stars from heaven. Those are the Little Dipper, the Big Dipper. Okay, those were the things that Israel followed. Read. Is that it?
That's it on that.
All right. Well, let's go to Revelations and find out some more. Chapter 12, verse 16. Because through this archaeology, Gad and Reuben began to stick with some things that were left with them. And one of the things that was left was some of the alphabet and some of the clothing, different type things were clues to what they are. And here in this book called Indian Spirits, on certain pages that I have listed here, you have page 4 listed. We have in a 4 section or 4 pattern, that's that same thog, and it looks like little crosses, but that's the Hebrew alphabet. That's the ancient thog. Before it was at a slant, it was standing up straight. Okay? And let me get some more. Let me get some more to show you more proof. Okay? But before we get more proof, let's get Revelations real quick. Chapter 12, verse 16.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 16. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth.
All right. It said the earth helped the woman. Who was the woman? According to the Bible, the woman is Israel. You can read that in Jeremiah 7 and 34. It talks about the bridegroom and the bride. The Most High is the bridegroom. And who's the bride? Israel. And a bride is a woman, right? So these are the clues to show you that the archaeology, this is our archaeology right here, to show who we are as a people. Gad was writing on a stone who he was. Now, the white man gives his own translation, but who's to say he's correct?
So where was that stone found, sir?
This stone was found in Back Creek, Tennessee, in the Cherokee Nation, in a burial ground. It was buried with another Gadite who passed away. They buried the different things that belonged to him, or his rank or position, these things that were given, and it was the things of the ancient time. Gad had been here since after 722 BC, after the Assyrian captivity. And here's more archaeology. There's 2 different letters on this garment right here, the Tha and the Da. Those pyramids is the ancient Da in the Hebrew right here. And on top of this hat, that's not Christianity, that's not a cross, that's the Tha. And that's the end of part 1 on Gad. It's one of the 10 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. Shalom.
Yes, them have the heart of a pagan. The children have the heart of a lion, I know. Evil a move with Satan. Righteous treading the countenance of the Almighty One. Them have the heart of demons. The children have the heart of a lion, I know. Evil a move with Satan. Righteous walk in the countenance of the Almighty One. Poor people see hostility rising daily. Ignorant multiply brutality. I see that they run gone left mommy. Fi struggle the hard road with 5 beginning. Our I see baby having baby. Nothing that happen no do.